How's everyone? Wow, it's a full class. Well, thank you all for coming tonight. I apologize for the few-minute delay. You know, when they told me how many people are attending the class, now multiply that by 20 minutes of massage in the Octopus. It was a half a day. So here we are, and all the massaging part is done. I thought I can get my massaging done, but I guess we're going to have to do that later. I cannot thank you enough. I see a lot of faces that almost in every class. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. So grateful for the support and sending the message out there, because it's not about cooking anymore. It's about the passion for food and what we share from our heart to yours. And it's very, very important. And the team that makes this happen is what makes this complete 100%. Chef Orlando, don't be scared. Chef Orlando, as a lot of you say, he's the one who got the job done, because Chef Hany is usually talking to us in the restaurant. You're wondering how Chef Hany makes the magic, get the things done, and get all these amazing dishes done when he's talking to us in the restaurant. And that's Orlando. Orlando's our sous chef, and I cannot be more grateful to have such a talent, the dedication from a young culinarian. He come from Napa Valley, and he was running 3 Michelin stars restaurant in Napa Valley. And we are so proud and grateful to have him here at Yoruba Village. And he is going to be in charge of Vianza Winery. So we're so excited that comes out. Yeah. And the other person that I can't be more grateful to be part of her team is the young lady that introduced me in the beginning, which is, she is our Director of Food and Beverage, Miss Alyssa Kroll. She's in the back. Bunch of talent, dedication. She knows hospitality, and that's very important. You go to restaurants in and out all the time, and it's not about eating out anymore. It's about where you have the best experience, where the place that it makes you feel like a family, and between her and the team, we're really taking this culinary and dining experience to a whole different direction. It's about connect with you, heart to heart, connect with you on a personal level, that we know you by name, we know you when you come in, and we will jump hoops to make sure that you get the experience and the dining experience that you deserve. So we're so grateful for you, and we can't wait to share a lot more with you. On a separate note, I wanted to thank the event team, that set up all this stuff, and I rarely have to come in, and I come straight to the table. They know. They said, no, chef, we got it. So those are the team. Miss Yvette and her team are the one that they put the setup and they do the extra work all the lifting for tables and chairs and get the pots and pans and get all these decoration. So grateful for you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we move on the recipe, I wanted to thank Michael. Michael is the filmmaker, and he is the one that built that wonderful video. He came and he took all those videos at 5 o'clock in the morning, texted me at 5:15, and I said, who the heck texting me at 5:15 in the morning? And he said, Chef, I got your coffee. Where are you? Well, I was here the night before until midnight. So, and here is Mike, woke me up at 5:15. Appreciate you every day. Yeah? And I learn now to put my phone on mute. We're gonna have fun tonight. As you watch that video, we have, can anybody remember or recognize from the video what's on the video that is not on your recipe? Well, it was the mojo rojo and mojo verde. Those are the two sauces. Those are the two sauces. I made it a commitment that every single class, I want you to go home not with just the recipe that you sign up for, with extra stuff. I want you to learn. Every time you come here, I'm going to give you one thing extra that you will learn, and so that way you said, I learned two things, not one. So we want to make sure that every time you come here, we teach you something new. And by the end of this year, we hope that I have you all as volunteers to help peeling onions and carrots and all that stuff. All right, so now, you know, I was in a battle earlier today regarding the menu tasting event. As most of you know, we have close to 890 Europa Table members. And we only, for the Europa Table members, we invite them, we take 100 people to have them help us choose the new menu items. We put the new menu items on the tables, and we have you try them. By the end of the night, we come into a decision with your help on what is going to go in the Valero restaurant menu. And that's the purpose of Europa Table. Europa Table is a culinary club that is, you guys are just, the only difference, you pay us, we don't pay you. So that's the only difference. So the battle that I was in, we are sold out on the event. The food tasting event, we already signed up all the people that we need. Unless anybody that is going to go on the waiting list, and there is a possibility. $25, you pay for just a percentage of the food cost, and you get to try all these new menu items. And a night out with your friends and family. But today I added a dozen of a space. So instead of it's 100 people, it's going to be 112 people. And the reason for that, if you are not Europa Table member, and you sign up today for Europa Table member, I am going to give you 2 free tickets to the food tasting. The end of the night, if you decide to sign up, Miss Cindy is in the back. She will take your information and she will sign you up, and you will get 2 free spots for the menu tasting. So some of the reason I show, here is the reason I'm putting this dish on the menu. Right? Can you stand up? Yes, please. Stand up. Stand up. So you and I talked for so many times over the last year and a half or two. And originally from Croatia. And she is the one, the reason I am putting this dish on the menu. Because she talked to me, she said, look, this is what we do in Croatia. You eat with the steamed potatoes, and we tried and tried and tried. And she came and I made it for her with bone marrow, with grilled octopus, and we done all that stuff. And I have to think about it. It is not a bad dish. And before you know it, we talked about a year and a half ago. Now, at least about 20% of our regular guests, they know, they come and they want that specific dish. So thank you for helping me choosing that dish. Now, I know it's very tricky because, and please don't get offended. I know that in this country, you don't want to see anything live. You don't want to see anything got butchered. You don't want to see anything caught. You almost want to be vegetarian, but you don't want to be vegetarian. So we are going to show you the octopus from A to Z. So don't be grossed out because that's the nature of the rest of the world. And I'm worried about that extra massaging I have to do. And we're going to show you the octopus. We have it on ice here. And we are going to start first. The water is almost boiling. And that's the water we are going to use for the octopus. It's require a massage because I have rough hands. So don't be afraid to stop, raise your hand, ask question. We're going to get the message to you one way or the other. Yes, sir? Is he alive? At one point, he was alive. Just like the rest of us, my friend. All right. So we're serving little amuse-bouche for you. And that is a toasted baguette with burrata cheese, olive tapenade, and a fresh basil on top. Every time we have a class, we have this. Anybody remember last time what we served? Yes, madam. Watermelon relish. Yes. Watermelon porchetta. All right. So before we start with this, we're going to cut the veggies. So I need you guys to, we might, you know how usually work. We might cross from one recipe to the other. So pay attention, and you see me jumping from the octopus to marinade, jump with me. Okay, we're going to be jumping all over the place today. Okay, so first I have the water. The water is boiling for the octopus. We're going to cut the veggies. Now, do I have, and the veggies, which is the mirepoix, that doesn't help, right? Okay, can everybody see the cutting board, right? Perfect. So, cutting, you don't have to peel anything yet. You cut it in half, and then you peel the onion. And really, there is no different way to describe this. You can cut it in quarter. The recipe says in quarter, but you can cut it in 8. You can cut it however. But most important thing is get those onions and flavor to the water. Okay? We're going to do the celery. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. Just straight to the water. We're trying to get as much as flavor as we can. Onion with garlic with the peel. Cut it in half. Cut it in half. Leave it whole like that and drop it in the water. Okay? Now carrots. Carrots, we're going to peel them. Already peeled. Last time I was peeling for hours. And it's frustrating. I went to culinary school, so I don't have to do this crap anymore. All right. So we put the carrots in here. Okay? And we have the tomatoes. And the tomatoes, those are going to cut them quarters. Yes, madam. Yeah. It doesn't have to be Roma tomatoes. You know what is the best for this? You open your vegetable drawer in the refrigerator or on the counter, pick up the one that is about to be useless, and that's what you put in the octopus. That's what Maripois come. We do our veggie stock for the vegetable paella. If you ever had the veggie paella here, we do our veggie stock with we have parsley stamps, tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever. We throw them in the bucket, and when we make the veggie stock, that's how we make our veggie stock, based from vegetables. Yes?
Would you ever leave the skins on your onion for color or flavor?
That's a very tricky question, which is a great question. The question is, do you ever leave the skin on the onions for flavors? If you're making a stock, that is okay to leave the onions in there. If you're making sauces, do not add the onion skins in there. And the reason for that, there is a bitterness and a flavor that it adds to the sauce, and you do not want that on your sauce. See, all simple questions, but great ones. All right. Quarters. Our octopus, I apologize. It comes straight from Spain. But once in a while, I hear there is a fish market, and I apologize, I don't know where is the fish market in here, but I hear there is a fish market here in Temecula. Blue water? Okay. I'm sure they have octopus if they are a seafood market. But if you ever want the octopus and you cannot find the octopus, let me know. I will get it for you from our vendor. Yeah? Okay, tomatoes going in there. Tomatoes going in there. Bay leaf, just like your recipe. Bay leaf and black peppercorn in there. Now, what's that? Question? No question. All right. Veggie base. To add, because I don't want to put salt or anything in here. Vegetable base. Get some water, mix this already. Add that in there. Now we got this already in there. Now we are going to do, this part is very important, and I leave just the leaves on the side here. And now I untie this again and use those stamps in here. Now we have a whole bubble bath for the octopus coming next. Question? All right. Here is the part that we all waiting for, is the massaging part. Don't freak out. Gorgeous. Yes. So, and I try not to say this word so many times, which is those things. What do you call those? Okay, that's when it gets off the line for somebody that doesn't speak English too well. So it comes like, yeah, I have to be careful, because people like me will get in trouble. So those things, the bigger they are, I thought they told me this is G-rated class. Okay. So that's, you wanted a healthy, nice looking octopus. And here it is.
What about the ink sac?
It's all clean from that.
Now, do you receive them clean?
We clean them before we get them to you.
Okay.
It's a whole different class. Yeah. Because you and I, we will be cleaning over here. All right, so we have the water boiling, and we have the ice water also right next to it. And if you want, well, these are 4 to 6 pounds. So 4 to 6 is the best size to get something that, because they shrink. You cook them in there and they shrink. And you want it something that is nice in size, so that way you have a decent meal. You don't say, Chef Hany tricked me on this, and now I'm still hungry. Yes, it's a vegetable stock because we add the vegetable base. If we wait on this for 30 minutes or so, we possibly don't have to. We can add salt and pepper, and we can use that as a veggie stock. We're trying not to use the salt, and we're trying to get the saltness from the veggie base or Borean cups or whatever they call them, cubes. Throw it in there and mix it, and don't add any salt to it. That's good enough. So you check for any bruises. So you have, if you look in here, if I show you this side, it's gorgeous, beautiful, and purple and pink color. It looks healthy. There is no bruises, there is none. And our sources, but I can understand your question because you don't know when you're going to get your octopus or where you get your octopus. So you're checking for bruises and cuts. When you see bruises and cuts, that poor octopus was abused. And we don't want that. Any other question before we go in the water? All right, here we go. So we are going to dump it in, and we're going to hold it by the cabeza, which is by the head. And it goes right in there. Yes?
Can the head be used for fish stock?
I'm sorry?
Can the head be used for fish stock?
We were talking about that. Michael, you were the one asking me that question earlier. Michael is a great cook at home. So he was asking me that question earlier. The answer is no. And the reason for that, because the leftover ink, it gets in the water, and the flavor is not a stock flavor. And we don't want to go that route. So we got it about 20 seconds, and we take it out, and we dump it in ice water to stop the process from cooking. Then we take it back. Huh? Yes. That's when I say I took my octopus to the spa. Any questions so far? Yes.
So it looks like you're doing a blanching thing. Why are you doing that before you actually do the 45-minute cook?
So the reason for that is to avoid losing the skin of the octopus. So we control the temperature in the cooking process, and what that does is just control the octopus from the skin to be peeled. So you cook it, and the skins are all peeled, and it doesn't look well. It looks like it's an old octopus, or you cooked me an old octopus. So what we do is we make it that process. You see the skin is still beautiful, and that by shocking it in ice water and all that stuff. And before, I apologize, before we put the octopus in the water, that's where I'm supposed to massage it. And I totally forgot I have to massage the octopus.
Start over.
I am. You have an octopus in your purse?
Excuse me, I'm moving over.
But I tell you, we massage 24 octopus earlier. So you guys each one of you will have a full octopus dish before you go tonight. And we were working on that octopus. So now we are going to leave. Yes. So now we're going to leave it in there for 45 minutes. So basically, what we make it, if you look at the ingredients on this recipe, it's the ingredients that goes in chimichurri, and that's what we use. The only difference is chimichurri is made and served the way it is. We don't want to do that. What we do is, we'll blend all that stuff together. And you blend it, and that's your combination for the marinade for the octopus. Any question? Okay, we got all the parsley in there. And then see, that's why I love these guys. They got everything ready. So you can have all these ingredients ready to go. Do it in advance. If you have friends and family over, do all this process in advance, you know. And Ms. Desiree, where we get the deli cups? Yeah. So save those. You know, I save these at home all the time. You know, save these. These are better than Tupperware. And the last class, the answers that I got, because we were using the lids for a slice of cutting tomatoes in half. And everybody, I didn't know. They said, oh, when you go to the deli, now every time I go to Barron's, I grab a few on the way out. Don't do that. Okay, we got the garlic powder. Yep, garlic powder. Yes?
Why not use fresh garlic?
Why? Because you have fresh garlic and everything else. And for marination, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, all that stuff is really good. Those are spices and seasoning, they're really good in marination. A lot of people, you know, you think it's like you're adding garlic, because what happens is you do the marination and you use fresh garlic. What's going to happen when you put the octopus on the grill? It's going to burn. And it's going to give it that burn flavor instead of the nice charred flavor. Onion powder. Oregano. Worcestershire sauce. Sherry vinegar. And a white wine vinegar. Now we complete all and then a little bit of the stone ground mustard or Dijon mustard. No, we're making the marinade for the octopus. Next, we are going to do the other two sauces. All right. All right. Now we are going to put this in a deli, in a small deli, to just have that ready. So now we got our marinade ready here. Now we are going to do the mojo verde. Mojo verde, you want to remove those parts of the onions that is hard to deal with. Then we're going to cut them. You don't have to cut them a special cut. just rough chop, and we throw them in there. I'm gonna green bell pepper. Just to cut around, so you don't have to clean as much. And they're all right there, nice and clean. We'll throw that in there as well. Two bell pepper. One jalapeno. Depends how spicy you want the mojo verde. I use one jalapeno, and I try not to use the seeds. So that way, just to give me a little bit of a spice. But if you feel like that's what make you happy, you can eat the whole seeds and everything. Okay. Yeah. We have sherry vinegar. And we have garlic. And we have, thank you. Then we got lime, coriander, ground coriander, and cumin, ground cumin. We use the lime juice, squeeze it around a spoon. It helps you get most liquid out. And you juice it, and everything goes down right there. You don't need to spend a lot of money on a juicer. And if you're making double and triple the recipe, send them down to the neighbors and ask them to squeeze them for you. All right. And then the olive oil. We are going to put this in here. And before we're going to do that, we're going to add the cilantro. The cilantro, those are the flavor right there. A little bit of that, and we throw that in there. Okay? We do the same with Italian parsley. And save those for the octopus. Yeah, for your stock. That's it. Don't waste anything. Now, we're going to throw this in there, and we're going to watch some explosion in here. Please don't try this at home. And then Then you just gotta work that magic. Then we're gonna add the olive oil. There we go. I cannot tell you the smell that I'm experiencing right now. It is unbelievable. What's that? I just use what I have, one bunch in there. What you have on the recipe in there is you follow what you have on the recipe. Here, I'm sure, don't worry about what I'm doing on this side. You just get the how it's done. And then you follow the recipe, and before you know it, you and I will be making it here together, like a champion. Okay, so. So that's our mojo. It's beautiful color green. Beautiful color green. And it made exactly what I need. And right here. So now we got this sauce done. Mojo verde and mojo rojo. You can use it on octopus, freshly cooked fish, chicken, you name it. You can, when you finally sick and tired of mojo verde and you have little left, you can marinate a skirt steak or a New York steak and let it sit in there for an hour, and then you throw it on the grill. All these flavors is used. And it's a shame that a lot of cultures that they are stuck with grandma's recipe and grandpa's recipe, and I cannot change that. But and then the younger generation, they come in and they said, I am willing to use, because there is so many unique things around the world, and we're not taking advantage of it. We're not taking advantage of how unique things are cooked with cilantro or with cumin or with coriander or with curry. All these flavors that it comes from around the world. And when people ask me, what is your style of cooking? Fresh and flavorful. That's the key to it. Yeah. So if I can make it, if I can make it tasty today, everybody will be happy and enjoy it. Now, that sauce is super easy because you just put everything in the blender and you blend it, right? Now, the next sauce is required to be, there is cooking involved. Let's check out my amigo here. Shrink a lot. That's why when I was saying you need to get the biggest octopus you can get is for those reasons. Now we're going to make the mojo rojo. And mojo rojo is going to require cooking. We're using guajillo, dry guajillo chili, and is known in the Latin culture. It's used a lot, and many, many dishes. And Orbal chili, that those are spicy. You can use as many as you want. John, I know you. You're going to use a lot more than normal people. And we're using today for this recipe, we're using 2 pieces because it gets it really little on the spicy side. So we have this one is working. We're going to cut the onion, julienne onions. And it says 3 julienne onions. That's for 1 full recipe, right? 2 onions, 2 whole onions. We're going to use only 1 because I am only making for 1 octopus. But you can make this sauce and you can leave it in the fridge for 1 whole week, no problem. So we have this one. We are going to use the Chef Blend olive oil. And we are going to throw the onions in there. I'm going to throw the 2 peppers in there. Guajillo, it says no seeds. And the second you pull the stems, seeds usually fall right off. Cut them in half so that way they got wilted a lot easier. Got that part taken care of. Now we're going to do minced garlic. You guys know all these tricks. I don't need to show you that, but if you haven't seen it, you just smash them with the knife. And now because this dish is require a minced garlic, you don't have to finely mince him because it's going to go in the blender anyway. A little bit salt, black pepper. I'm sorry? When I received the octopus, it's not frozen. What's that? They ship it to a distributor in Orange County. They bring it to us 4 times a week here. So 4 times a week they come to us here. But we come across many times that they don't have, or sorry, there is a delay in the port or FedEx and all that kind of stuff. So many times we got caught in the middle of that, and we have no choice but using a Spanish frozen octopus. If it's frozen, you defrost it.
Absolutely brilliant.
No. So, okay, I am going to add, so we finally got, hold your thoughts, okay? We're not done. Listen, I love questions like that. You know, because those are the questions, those are reality. They're not just the questions, they're reality. Is what you come across on daily basis. You go to the market and that's all you can find. So what are you going to do at that point? We want you to have the answer, all the answers to your questions. And if you don't have an answer for any question, okay, I'm adding the diced tomatoes. Canned diced tomatoes is perfectly fine. They told me, please don't set the place on fire. Yes. Now we're going back to the octopus. Anytime you are defrosting anything, regardless if it's an octopus, a piece of fish, a piece of meat, anytime, you're running cold water, you're putting it in a container. So here is my container that I'm about to defrost something. I have the water running over it, and I have my product in there. If it's octopus, steak you're defrosting, anything that you want to defrost. You turn the water in your sink at very low. You have water flow running, so the temperature of the product is not at risk. You don't want it to get it to that danger zone where a bacteria grows and all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure it's cold water running over it and give it some time. Or you got the octopus that is frozen. One day before, you have it in your refrigerator. Put it in a pan, keep it in the fridge. And next day, it's defrosted, and you're working like it's fresh. All right, now we're taking this bad boy, and we're putting him in ice water. Any questions so far? Yes? No ice water if you're defrosting, because you're not defrosting anymore. And we're trying to get it defrosted. So if you're defrosted, just the regular running water, and keep the water running. Don't stop, because what happened is it changed the temperature, and the temperature becoming a temperature danger zone, and I don't want to come and eat in your house anymore. Sorry? Oh man, my house is not that big. But you're all welcome. So now, in the future, any question, I don't want you to leave this class and you feel like I don't know, I am missing an instruction here, or I forget how this is done and all that stuff. On Yoruba Village, if you go under Chef Hany and there is what do you call it? A link or whatever. You click on it, and it says message the chef. Icon there, it says message the chef. Send me a message, and it comes automatically to my email. I think it's about 80% of you guys, if you don't have my email, you have my cell phone number, and you have all that stuff.
Can we call you at 4:30?
Michael? Yeah. And this is a guy that I never sleep. I don't think he ever sleep. And he's always like high energy. As I want to take what he's taking. Huh? Costa Rican wine. Okay, so we're gonna let this simmer, and that's our mojo rojo. The smell, I'm sure you guys are experiencing that as well. Yeah, you come here to learn today, not because you're gonna cook for yourself. I am almost positive you're coming here today to learn because you wanted to create the culinary experience in your own house. We are sick and tired of people saying, this is my great-great-grandmother's recipe, and I admire that, and I honor that, and all that stuff. We are losing generations after generations when it comes to cooking. It shouldn't be like that. It should be always, always take the chance now. Take the chance now before we lose another generation. Take the chance now that we're going to learn about food. All right. I think this process is done. Now, we're done with this, and always be extra careful. I'm going to do it your way, not my way, so that way you are safer. You're using a spoon, and instead of try to dump it in there. Safety is number one in cooking. Otherwise, you lose a finger, you lose a hand, you got to splash oil on you. We don't want you to do that. And you take an extra second, and we're done. All right, so we're going to blend this. We're going to blend this here. Oh, man. This is exactly why cooking is the most amazing thing in the world. And we are going to get one of those wonderful delis, and we're going to blend it out. There is no explanation how amazing this is. That is good sign. Imagine your house, your neighbor will be jumping over the fence. Okay. So now, what are we going to do now? We are going to, are we still on time? Or I could. Who's got time? I don't know. If you have somewhere to go, you're on your own. Okay, so now it's time to marinate that octopus. Feel free if you want to put a towel in there. All right. We're going to cut it from here. That's why we don't like to do anything in America. It is gorgeous. And then we go into, it's always the first one. Then you cut it. And then after that, it's all easy from there. You just grab him down the line, and you cut him down this way, that way. And sometimes you get 8, sometimes you get 7. Who knows? Simple as that. Okay, yeah. So now we're going to take that marinade, that blended chimichurri that we made. Then just like that, you leave it for a minimum of 2 hours.
Sometimes you can find pre-cooked octopus. Do you recommend using pre-cooked octopus?
I don't want to be part of that.
Okay, that's what I.
Yeah, I don't want to be. But if that's all you find, you get to the cooked octopus. I don't know, I didn't even know that they sell cooked octopus. It's tough because they don't massage it. Yes. Everybody deserves a spa day. Okay, we're going to put the octopus in the back. Any questions so far? Questions so far? I'm going to let your wife answer that question. All right. So now we got the octopus. We got all that stuff ready. Now, remember I told you Orlando de Leon is a genius? So he brought me this, and this is part of the grill. And he said, Chef, you can use this for the grill, for the cooking class. I said, good, Orlando. Good thinking. Let's hope that we don't burn the banquet room down. And then me and you will be on the street tomorrow. Yeah, you know? I don't even know if it's going to work. I just going to give it a try, and we said, hey, we experimented things together here. If it worked, great. If it didn't work, don't try it at home. Orlando did it. Orlando. All right. What's that? The one we use here for grilling is apple wood. You know, and now they do mixture between apple and almond wood. I got a couple bags from Home Depot. And it was great. They lasted the whole way, and it was perfectly fine. I have a little grill on. I do wood grill at home, and it worked fine. All right. So now, how many people here the first time attending a class? Wow, that's a lot. All right, well, that's good. For those, for those our first time, we're going to show you how to cut tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes. Parents, deli cups. You're going to put them on the deli cups. You're going to make sure that you put them on the lid really tight. The other lid on top. And a knife through. Okay? Those are the ones that you learned something new today. See what happened? See what you missed last class? That's what you missed last class. Yes. I know exactly who they are now. If I don't see you next time, it's going to be a problem. Now we're using marble potatoes, and that's what marble potatoes look like. They are little tiny, all different color potatoes. You boil them like boiling eggs, and they take about, when the water is boiled and you throw them in there, they don't take longer than 10 minutes. It takes rarely 10 minutes. They're the easiest thing to make, and they are the greatest thing to taste with something like that. Any question? So we have the cut tomatoes. We have the minced garlic. And our potatoes are cooked and cut in half, or you leave them whole if you want, but we prefer cutting them in half so they don't roll over your kitchen. And then you're trying to find potatoes all night long. Questions so far? All good? Beautiful. Got all these lids in here. Anybody running out of lids at home? Man, I tell you, this Orlando, you're a genius. Yes. Officially. Yes. It's gotten so hot that I have to turn it down now. Nice. So we're going to saute these ingredients together. You don't have chopped parsley. I am a big fan of parsley and cilantro. I add parsley and cilantro in almost everything. Cilantro is my favorite herb in the world. Today, with adding the sauteed tomatoes and the potatoes to the dish with the minced garlic and olive oil, I am adding to it the chopped parsley, Italian chopped parsley, that if you can or you don't have to if you don't want to add it. Yeah. So we got the oil hot. We're going to do the tomatoes and the potatoes together. And don't be shy. I'm sorry? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I pre-cook the potatoes, otherwise we'll be here until midnight. Cooking octopus, cooking tomatoes, cooking potatoes. We're going to leave that to the 8-hour class. Right, we finally got him like combine the flavor together so we don't have to burn the garlic. We'll throw some garlic in there. Can everybody see that? All right. A touch of salt and pepper. And I do chop parsley in the end. Now, this mixed together, you know how to make it, right? We're good on that, no questions, right? Simple, easy, very tasty. If you're grilling a steak and you want to do some side, here is your side. Utilize the idea of cooking, throw a handful of spinach in there and have a whole different dish. You know? Whatever vegetable that you like, throw them in there, saute them, and you create in your own style, your own dish. You know what you like the most. You know what your husband or your wife or girlfriend or somebody. All right. Now, so we turn this off. Now we're going to throw the octopus in there. That's what we all come here for. If for some reason, because this is new, right? Who designed this? Orlando. So Orlando. So if we need to run, we run this way. Don't run that way. I think it will be fine. Yes. We'll blame Orlando later. Okay. Do you remember that mojo verde and mojo rojo? I'm sure all of you guys have this at home. Anything, a white dish, a dish that you wanted to serve on, whatever you want to serve it on, you mix the mojo rojo. And here, let me get this stuff out of the way. We're done with this. Now, we're going to do it that way. Can everybody see it okay? Now, we are going to put 1 spoon on this side. And then we're going to drag this way. And then we're going to mix the verde. And we're going to put it 1 spoon on this side. And we're going to drag it that way. Now, we have these dishes are ready to go. The octopus is getting charred in a good way under the circumstances. And then we are going to serve that wonderful mix that we did. We're going to put that on the center. I'm going to put that in mine too. We got the octopus here, and now we are going to slice it. Now, for this specific dish, I'm sure you all experienced our octopus salad in the restaurant. It's good, right? It's about to go away. But this is the new octopus that you know that the pulpo, this is the new one. Now, and you all know, if something that it goes away in the restaurant, it goes in something that's called the secret menu. Ask for the secret menu. And that's when we give you things that is not on the menu. So that's when Chef Orlando loses his cool. So now we are not going to cut the octopus all the way like we usually do. So we just cutting it. Yeah, we're cutting it a little bit so that way it can roll on the top of that mix. Now we have this stuff that makes everything looks beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new octopus dish, and thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And be just a few minutes, and we'll send that octopus dish for you to try.